In chemical bonding, today we are going to study about covalent bond. Covalent bond is also called as molecular bond. It is defined as the chemical bond that is formed between two combining atoms by mutual sharing of one or more pairs of electrons. The compounds formed with the help of covalent bonding are called as covalent compounds. Covalent bonds are formed by intermolecular force of attraction. Formation of HCl. Before combining, we are having atoms of hydrogen and chlorine with their respective valence electrons. After combining, hydrogen tends to complete its doublet while chlorine completes its octet by sharing of electrons. Covalent bonding also helps in the formation of covalent molecules. They are the molecules which are formed due to the sharing of electrons. For examples, we have chlorine molecule, oxygen molecule, and nitrogen molecule. Formation of chlorine molecules. Before combining, I am having two atoms of chlorine with their respective valence electrons. After combining, each of the atom of chlorine try to complete its octet by sharing a pair of electrons. It can also be represented by two chlorine atoms separated by a dash. The dash in between the two chlorine atoms indicate that there is a pair of electron or two electrons which are shared in between these two atoms. This also indicates the formation of a single covalent bond in between the two atoms. Formation of oxygen molecule. Before combining, I am having two atoms of oxygen with their respective valence electrons, which after combining, both these atoms tends to complete their octet by sharing of two pairs of electrons, that is 4 electrons, leading to the formation of double covalent bond in between these two oxygen atoms. Ultimately, an oxygen molecule is formed. Formation of nitrogen molecule. The electron dot structure of nitrogen, I would be writing it as this. But I know that to complete its octet, nitrogen requires 3 electrons more. That means it requires to share 3 electrons with the other atom. So the correct form of writing nitrogen is this. Now before combining, I have two atoms of nitrogen ready to combine with each other, which after combining, each of this nitrogen atom completes its octet by sharing 3 pairs of electrons, that is 6 electrons, leading to the formation of triple covalent bond between the two combining nitrogen atoms, ultimately leading to the formation of nitrogen molecule. Types of covalent bond. There are 3 types of covalent bond: single covalent bond, double covalent bond, and triple covalent bond. In single covalent bond, we have only one pair of electron being shared between two atoms. In double covalent bond, we have 2 pairs of electrons being shared. In triple covalent bond, we have 3 pairs of electrons being shared. Each of the bond is denoted by their respective sign. Example: chlorine molecule is formed by the presence or the formation of single covalent bond? Oxygen molecule is formed by the presence of double covalent bond. Nitrogen molecule is formed by the presence of triple covalent bond. Conditions for the formation of covalent bond. The first one is both the atoms should have high electron affinity so that both of them attracts the shared pair of electrons equally. Second, both the atoms should have high ionization energy so that none of the atoms are able to give out or lose electrons. Third, both the atoms should have high electronegativity. Ultimately, a covalent bond is formed between two non-metals. If electronegativity difference between the combining atoms is zero or negligible, then a covalent bond is formed. For example, the chlorine atoms, when combined together with another chlorine atom, it forms chlorine molecule. Here we all know the electronegativity of chlorine is 3. The difference between them is 0. So, that leads to the formation of chlorine molecule with the help of covalent bond formed between the two chlorine atoms. As we move across a period, the ionic bond character of chlorides, oxides, etc. decreases. Here I have taken the elements from period 3. As we see over here the chlorides of the elements of group 3, as we move from left to right, the ionic character goes on decreasing. Whereas by the end there is covalent bond being formed with the molecules. I can also see over here that aluminium trichloride is having partially ionic, partially covalent bond being formed between the two atoms. Also, the oxides of the elements belonging to period 3, if jotted down, we can find that from left to right the ionic character goes on decreasing, whereas the covalent character goes on increasing. Based on the distribution of shared electrons, covalent compounds are divided into two types. 1. Non-polar covalent compounds, and the other one, polar covalent compounds. When the shared pair of electrons are at equal distance from the combining atoms, we call that compound to be as non-polar covalent compound. Whereas when the shared pair of electrons are not at equal distance from the two combining atoms, we call that compounds to be as polar covalent compounds. Covalent compounds are non-polar when shared pair of electrons are equally distributed between the two atoms. Normally, molecules formed by this non-polar covalent compounds are symmetrical and electrically neutral in nature. If the two covalently bonded atoms are identical, then the shared pair of electrons are at equal distance from the combining atoms. For example, in the case of hydrogen molecule formation, nitrogen molecule formation, or chlorine molecule formation. As both the atoms are identical, the electron pair which is shared remains at equal distance from the two combining atoms. An example can be stated of hydrogen molecule formation. Before combining, I am having two atoms of hydrogen with their respective valence electron. After combining, these valence electrons are shared in between the two atoms of hydrogen such that the shared electrons lies at equal distance from the combining hydrogen atoms. Another example can be a formation of nitrogen molecule. As we have seen earlier, there are three electron pairs which are being shared in the formation of nitrogen molecule. These three pairs of electrons are at equal distance as the bond is formed between two identical atoms. However, the bond formed between dissimilar atoms can also be nonpolar if their electronegativity differences is little. For example, carbon tetrachloride, the compound which is formed by carbon and chlorine atom. Now, the electronegativity of carbon is 2.5 whereas that of chlorine is 3.1. The difference is very less, so it is a nonpolar compound. The similar case is with methane, where electronegativity of carbon is 2.5 and that of hydrogen is 2.1. Let's study the formation of carbon tetrachloride. Before combining, I am having a carbon atom with its respective valence electrons. This carbon atom combines with four chlorine atoms, which are represented with their valence electrons as this. After combining, one pair of electron is shared with each chlorine atom, thereby leading to the formation of four single covalent bonds. Another example is the formation of methane molecule, in which before combining I am having carbon atom with its valence electron ready to combine with four hydrogen atoms. Now after combining, I have one pair of electron being shared between carbon and each hydrogen atom, leading to the formation of four single covalent bond in methane molecule. Polar covalent compounds. The covalent compounds are said to be polar when the shared pair of electrons are not at equal distance between the two atoms. This results in the development of fractional positive and negative charge on them. How? Let's look upon it. In the formation of HCl, I have one atom of hydrogen and one atom of chlorine. Both of them form a covalent bond by sharing one electron each. Now, we know that electronegativity is the tendency of an atom to attract a shared pair of electrons towards itself. In the periodic table, we know that as we move from left to right, the electronegativity goes on increasing. In terms of HCl, chlorine is having higher electronegativity. That is, it has the highest tendency of attracting the shared pair of electrons towards itself. Due to this, in the formation of HCl, the chlorine atom tends to attract the shared pair of electrons towards itself. While doing so, chlorine gets a slight negative charge, whereas hydrogen gets a slight positive charge. Polar compounds tend to show charge separation property. A polar compound can be represented as this. The arrow on the line indicates that the shared pair of electron is shifted towards that atom. After knowing the concept of polar compound, you might be having a query that if chlorine is having higher electronegativity, then why is carbon tetrachloride a non-polar compound? In carbon tetrachloride, I have one carbon atom covalently bonded to four chlorine atoms by sharing one pair of electrons with each chlorine atom. As we all know, chlorine is highly electronegative in nature. That means the tendency of attracting shared pair of electron is maximum in chlorine. In carbon tetrachloride, chlorine tends to attract the shared pair of electron towards itself by the force of attraction, due to which a slight negative charge is generated on chlorine atom and a slight positive charge is generated on the carbon atom. A similar force of attraction is seen with other chlorine atom, but in the opposite direction, thereby nullifying the effect, or we can also say that the force is getting balanced on either sides. The same thing happened with the other two chlorine atoms, thereby making the entire carbon tetrachloride compound a non-polar compound. Other examples of polar covalent compound are water molecule, ammonia, and hydrogen fluoride. Polar compound tends to ionize in water. Let's see what does ionization means. In solution, the fractional charges of polar covalent compounds are converted to complete charges and ions are formed. This process by which covalent compounds are converted to ions is called ionization. For example, if I take a polar compound HCl and dissolve it in water, I have the formation of hydrogen and chloride ions respectively in water. Remember, the more the electronegativity difference between two atoms forming a bond, the more is the polar nature of the molecule. Let us summarize the bond form with respect to the electronegativity difference between the combining atoms. If the electronegativity difference is zero, then the bond formed is nonpolar covalent bond. If there is slight difference in the electronegativity of the two combining atoms, then the bond formed is polar covalent bond. When there is large difference, that is approximately more than 1.7 in the electronegativity of the two combining atoms, then the bond formed is ionic bond. A polar covalent molecule is also called dipole molecule because of the presence of both positive and negative poles. Let's see the formation of a polar compound, that is water molecule. Before combining, I am having one atom of oxygen and two atoms of hydrogen with their respective valence electrons. After combining, I am having one pair of electron being shared between oxygen and each hydrogen atoms, owing to which there are two single covalent bonds being formed in water molecule. Before moving forward, you should be introduced to the two most important terms. First one is the bond pair of electrons and the second is a lone pair of electrons. A bond pair of electrons are the pair of electrons that are shared during the formation of covalent bond, whereas lone pair of electrons are the pair of electrons which are not shared with any other atom. We have seen the formation of water molecule. In this water molecule formation, I have this pair of electron which are shared between oxygen and hydrogen called as the bond pair of electrons because they are responsible for the bond formation. Whereas I have these two electrons which don't take part in any bond formation or which don't pair with any other atoms. They are called as lone pair of electrons. Let's see the formation of another polar compound, that is ammonia molecule. Before combining, I am having one atom of nitrogen and three atoms of hydrogen with their respective valence electrons. After combining, I have one pair of electron being shared between nitrogen and each hydrogen atom, which leads to the formation of three single covalent bonds. In this formation of ammonia, I have three bond pair of electrons and one lone pair of electrons. This lone pair of electron is said to have an effect on the structure of polar compounds. The structure of polar compounds are being given here. The first one is a water molecule, the second one is ammonia, and the third one is hydrogen fluoride. Let's study ammonia structure first. In the structure of ammonia, I have one nitrogen atom being covalently bonded to three atoms of hydrogen. Now it also have one lone pair of electron. The structure of ammonia is dependable on the force of repulsion that occurs between lone pair bond pair and also between bond pair. The extent to which this repulsion occurs is given as the repulsion between lone pair is more than lone pair bond pair, which in turn is more than bond pair. So now you know that why the structure of ammonia is so distorted. Similar goes with the structure of water molecule. In water molecule, I have oxygen which is covalently bonded to two hydrogen atoms. It also have two lone pair of electrons. As lone pair repulsion is maximum, you can see the extent to which the lone pair in oxygen are being repelled. That's it for the topic of covalent bonding. Thank you.